Well, good morning. I'm Dave and this is Down the Road We Go. In our next video, we're going to leave Menifee and travel north just a little bit up the interstate till we get up to March Air Force Base, which is now March Field because the Air Force doesn't own it anymore. But they still use it, and we're going to take some video of a really nice museum they have up there and a few flybys by some military aircraft. So come along for the fly as Down the Road We Go.
Dave and Shirley, where have you been? Down the road we go again. Trekking their way through the USA, boondocking while docking in the Taipei. While they're standing on the corner of Winslow, Arizona, Altoona, Cheyenne, or down in Punta Gorda. And if your RV needs some minor repair, Dave will give you tips down at Camp Sinclair.
There, is there? Oh, he's at the other camp. Oh, Tony's here.
Yeah.
Is this your first visit?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me just, I'll be the bearer of bad news that the inside of the museum technically is closed. Not our idea, but our governor's. But restrooms are open. They're on the far side of this first hangar. So if you were walking slowly to the restroom,
Okay.
you might be able to see quite a bit.
Okay.
We'll try that then.
And then everything outside is still open.
We do have to go to the restroom.
Okay, we're at March Air Force Base Museum.
Oh yeah, give it to Jana.
Only the outside exhibits are open, but we have to go to the bathroom, which means we got to walk by the airplanes that are inside. How about that? Oh, an SR-71. Cool. You got a Predator hanging from the ceiling.
She's in Boston.
That is cool. We saw one actually taking off and flying around outside.
71 out here.
This is a reserve base now. It's not the full Air Force Base anymore. There's Amazons out here and owned by the city now, I guess.
She called one day and said, I think my eyelashes are closing up. I said, how cold is it? She said 38 below. Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be good.
This is a cool airplane.
They're across the hangar here.
Big airplane. I get models of the stealth bomber. Nice big axial flow jet engine. Cool airplane. Okay, we're outside on the tarmac. Well, I guess the sand mat out here at the museum, March Air Force Base. They have a lot of airplanes out here. Pretty cool. So we're going to look at them, tell stories, and look at them again. Would you look at that? Must be training today or something.
They said they've had jets here from Yuma. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They're flying all over.
Big airplane. Boy, could that thing fly. That's a B-36. It's the type of plane that dropped the bomb on
Hiroshima?
Yeah, and Nagasaki.
The doors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This be the helicopter section. of reminds you of MASH. B-17, World War II, Flying Fortress. Those things would take one heck of a hit and keep on ticking and get everybody back. They didn't get everybody back. A lot of them went down, but I've seen film of them flying and coming in with their tail shot off and still land them. Amazing airplane. Oh, there's a drone. I don't know if you can see it. He's been flying around out here. Like I said, a B-17. Amazing airplane. Oh, look at these old cars. Olive drab paint job. Pretty slick. A Nash. That is an old one. Nice. And a nice Jeep. Oh, a glider. Remember when I said that Doolittle flew B-25s? This is what he flew off of an aircraft carrier, no catapult like they got today. Wood deck, and it was only so long, and they had so many of them, they had them stacked up on board. The wings don't fold or anything, so they were like really,
like wing on wing.
One had to take off before this one could take off, before this, and not coming back.
Because you couldn't land
It was
on
a
it.
one-way trip. Yeah, you couldn't land on it. They had to crane them on to them down in San Diego Harbor.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So they craned them onto the boat. I can't remember what the aircraft carrier name was, but once they took off, all they had on them was bombs and gasoline. And they had cans of gasoline stacked up inside to pour into the tanks because the plane did not have that much of a range. They barely had enough fuel once they passed Japan and bombed
To get back.
well, to make it to China. Just barely enough
Oh,
fuel.
and
to
they
make it-
landed China?
They landed in airfields in swamps, some on the beach, all over China, and a lot of the crews died.
Oh yeah.
You know, from exposure and in the crash. Less crashes than landing, but yeah,
Wow.
it's an amazing journey.
It's like Mike says that World War II vets, they were tough.
Yeah.
They were tough men.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, if you ever see a movie with an older movie says "Bombs Over Tokyo," it'd be
I think I've seen it.
yeah.
It was the
Everybody's seen it. Yeah. So cool airplane.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine where it's been?
Yeah.
It's like history sitting there.
Oh yeah. There's no telling. It might not have been anywhere, but it might have been all over the world.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You'd have to look at its book. Huh? Yes.
Take off back here.
Yeah, he is. He's going around. He's probably going to do a touch and go. There he goes. KC-135. KC-135. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Refuel plane. He's been doing touch and goes all the time we've been here. I finally caught him on camera. Okay, funny story. Do you know the difference between an Air Force pilot and a Navy pilot?
You definitely tell the difference.
You can definitely tell the difference when you fly with them. You'll notice when he came off, he didn't go put nose up. He just kind of rose gently up.
Navy
and came
pilot.
around. And, no, that's an Air Force pilot. For you. And when he came in to land, he came in nice and slow. He got real and just went down their ways and just, you know, squeaked the tires and then slowed down. Navy pilot in burner coming down. Okay, gets the end runway, goes up like that. He's going for the action. Yeah. You know, they come in
going off aircraft carriers.
And aircraft carriers. When they come in, they go shh, you know, and smack the ground and throw the brakes on, waiting for that hook to hit. And you can tell them when they fly civilian airplanes, they still do the same thing.
Jeez. So when we're flying and somebody has a rough landing, we'll go. Seriously.
Oh, if it's a real abrupt, you know, I mean, he came down and just boom, sat down and hit the brakes. Navy. And I've never been wrong. I've always gone Navy. Yeah. Air Force. Yeah, figures.
They're trained to land like that.
Yeah, Air Force got 10,000 foot, 15,000 foot runways.
Rescue trucks out there, the
Uh-oh.
trash trucks.
Uh-oh.
They may just be farting around near the train.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
There comes another one.
And that's a C-117. He gonna crank it around. C-117. That new cargo plane. Okay, we're gonna try and catch. It looks like he's coming around, going to do another touch and go. He just took off. I don't know if you can see him way down there, that cargo plane, C-117. But he's turning on his down leg run, which means he's going to come around and come down this runway. And we're going to walk out here and see if we can get a bit better shot. Boy, he comes in slow. It really looks slow. He just barely touched and then took it right back off again. Oh, and he wagged his wings at us. Cool. He didn't hardly touch. This is a C-141, another big cargo ship, or another big cargo airplane. I think some reserves still fly, I'm not too sure, but I think they're mainly moving towards the C-117 now. Big airplane, look at all the wrinkles. Just like old people, old planes get wrinkles. They're like an RV. They constantly move around and get buffeted. They don't break as often as an RV, but when they break, it's really catastrophic. It's like an old Sky King plane. Thanks for watching Down the Road We Go. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to subscribe and make sure you click the little bell so you get notified every time a new episode comes out. Thanks again for watching Down the Road We Go.